Dan cries about his problems.
That's materialistic. You know,
being a man is hard.
your many words. If you can't eating wise after going through what you
100%. I remember even too, you said,
yeah, and you know, us casual people.
But with that being said, like if it's
degraded for some reason, I don't know if money. We are live here back with Brothers United Round Table, guys. We back with another video here at the round table, man. Today we gotta talk about, well, the big problem people starting to have with AI companions. And we gotta talk about this, that these men, they say, are dealing with virtual girlfriends through this new app. And we want to talk about it today, man, and, you know, break it down and try to get to the bottom of why and what's really going on here, man. And I think society and the guys on the show really don't break it down like they need to. So I got to critique some things and really try to get an understanding of what's going on. So let's go.
Dives into the growing popularity of AI girlfriends and how people, mostly men, are starting to turn more to their computer to find their perfect companion. Replica, a popular app that provides AI-powered digital partners, has surged in popularity in recent years. The app hit more than 10 million users in 2022 after seeing a 35% increase during the global pandemic, which does make some sense. The app, which was created by Eugenia Cuida and parent company Luca, was originally created just for her after her best friend died in a car accident in 2015. Cuida used thousands of old text messages as training data to simulate his personality and gave him a second life as a chatbot. However, it blossomed into a lot more once the app officially launched in 2017. Within its first year, the app was downloaded 1.5 million times, according to analytics firm Apptopia. Users discovered their reps saying no out the gate. I'm half interested. I'm single and I'm half interested. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to turn down a good herb.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm Wyatt and she's Herb. Let's do it.
Yeah, I was just about to make a Wyatt Earp joke. Okay, so look, here's the thing I'm most offended by in this story. The guy's having committed relationships with their AI. If it's AI, you might as well cheat. You're crazy.
right.
Right, Craig, get ready a second AI and a
Strong
third
point.
AI. Are you nuts? Have some fun. They're not real. The main problem with cheating is hurting other people's feelings. If you're not hurting their feelings, you're not to cheat.
It's a strong point. It's a strong point. Some say to also build a very close bond with just the one person, but I feel you on yours. I mean, having a little fun. If
I want to just be honest here today, okay? Y'all trying to. It's funny. It's hilarious, right? It's a joke, right? Trying to figure out why is men having relationships with their computers, pretty much, or virtual AI, like pretty much something computerly generated. Yeah, I can't understand this. It's crazy that they haven't committed relationships. Why is it crazy, man? We want to understand why is it crazy, because the reason why it's crazy to y'all, because y'all not, I don't know, to be a man and to be oblivious to what's going on in society is to be crazy. The loneliness for men are real. You don't think these men who lonely try to date? You don't think they tried to date and tried to go out here and date? You don't think that they tried it with these women and they figuring, well, I feel like I'm just not attracted enough for them women. Let me try to figure out some alternative options. Now I know for a lot of people this may be insane. You can't grasp this, right? But a lot of dudes are going this route because women, no offense to them. I'm not even finna knock women today. Women, I could break it down like this because this is gonna make the most sense in the world. Women in their natural habitat, women in their primal, and being in their primal nature, being out in the wild. Women are naturally are going to mess with the top guys. They always gonna go for the strongest males, the male that could hunt the most food, and they all gonna gravitate to that man. And that man is gonna share most of the women. See, most of these women are sharing the top few men. They always talk about being committed and having a committed relationship with one woman, but sorry, ladies, you sharing. And sharing is caring. Believe that. But most women only mess with the strongest males. So we convert them to society today, the modern society today. They only going to mess with the top percentile of males. Look, status, and money. You got money. But if you ain't got the looks, the status, they ain't gonna really. It's complicated, right? These are things that they looking for. That's what they gravitate to. Okay? And so these average men, the average man who builds society, the average man who keeps this train moving, man, they ain't getting nothing. So they struggling, trying to figure out what they gonna do. So what do men do when they struggle? They find alternative ways. They try to figure something out. This is the problem that you're not talking about.
There's no consequences to it and nobody's gonna be offended. Program your bot to not give a crap about it.
I'm really curious as to how in the hell that 60% of young men between 80 and 30 are single, but 30% of women the same age aren't, when there's more women than there are men. I don't know how exactly.
How you don't know exactly how? Like you feel lost. Look at it, like I can't grasp because there's more women than men. It goes back to what I told you, knucklehead. Women only mess with the top percentage of men. The average man is not in style no more. Back in the day, being average was great. You can get a woman. With inflation, with the OnlyFans, with social media, it got female nature, it got hypergamy on steroids. It's out of control today, right? So women naturally don't always gravitate to the top percentile man, money, looks, and status. Period. I don't know, maybe he can't grasp it because he's not dealing with those issues. Because the dudes that's dealing with maybe genetically ain't the best looking. See, people only stare at the lens through their own life. They don't look at the bigger picture. They don't see the reality of men. They just look at their own life and can't fathom because they're not going through it, right? How is that possible? Well, it's possible. And it's only gonna get worse from here, brother.
That was calculated, but that's something about that. That's not accurate.
Who are they dating? Who are they dating?
No,
Yeah,
I know what the answer is, but I agree with Jackson that can't be a real number. That number is too gigantic.
Well, what is the answer?
But the answer is that women are marrying older
men, exactly. That's
okay, so because that's for 18 to 30-year-olds.
Okay, and again, but that has to. It can't be half of it.
I
know
agree.
what I'm saying? Like that has to be closer. And another thing, I mean, I'm not mad at it. Like people need companionship in some type of way. So, if you take this away from people who may have social issues or something, then you're just going to make them more lonely. And look, the bigger issue is, living in the digital age has crippled everyone socially in a lot of ways. My mom used to talk about how, like, Gen Z, a lot of people don't have any phone etiquette like they do because people text all the time. Like when I was growing up, people still were answering the phone. Hello, can I speak to? Stuff like that. And
that is true, brother. Social media, these phones we have today, and what's going on in society today has divided all of us, right? We don't even have social lives anymore. Most people are on their computers, on their phone. You'll see 3 people at the table looking at their phone and talking to each other. Yes, that's the kind of society we live in. People do not have social skills anymore, right? But it's not going to stop the fact of the matter is that the truth is women only gravitate to the top percentage of men. And to say that, they only going for older men. And why is 30 to 80? Men make the most money in their 40s and 50s, man. No, women are going to the top percentage of guys, money, status, and looks, right? Like a woman could be on Instagram and she can get a guy with a blue check mark hit up. Right? She could be anywhere, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. The blue with a blue check mark can actually hit up. You could fly out and change your life, or have a good time. They have access to these guys. This is the problem. This is what they don't talk about. Talk about everything else though. It's all fun. It's all fun and games to laugh at a man. But what you expect a man to do if he's lonely? That's just the truth. Want to criticize a man for being lonely? And do I think this okay? No, not the best thing. It's a problem, but we got to talk about what stems from these problems. Why are men doing this? This is the truth.
That's going away, and people literally live their lives through social media, so that impacts people's ability to engage with each other and actually go out. So like, I don't see how taking this app would solve anything at all. I think it's just what it is. Let people do what they want.
Yeah, I want to make that distinction too. I think Jackson's 100% right. So number one, like, nobody's talking about we're gonna make it illegal, right? No, you do you, boo, right? And so but I want to make a distinction between, like, for example, furries and the Japanese pillow folks, okay? So the furries, they do something that most people find highly unusual. They dress up in animal outfits and they live their normal lives with it, and sometimes they have sex in it, right? But it's the sex isn't necessarily the point, but they just like getting dressed in those outfits. Okay, that's still social though. That's just like they're socializing in a different way than we are. No harm in that at all, okay? In Japan, the original AI, there's a lot of different versions of this, but we cover the story of the guys who have these like life-size pillows, and they talk to them, and that becomes their girlfriends, and it's in like the shape of a woman, etc. And of course, look, it sounds funny. We all know that. We can acknowledge that. Even when so am I going to take away their pillows? I'm not going to take away their pillows, right? But that's different than the furries because they're not socializing. They're talking to an inanimate object. And the further you go down that road, the harder it comes back, it makes to come back to reality, right?
See, what irritates me about this bozo, right? He's definitely a bozo for this. He's making light and fun of this. This is a serious problem. It's serious. You know, he's talking to an inanimate object. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with these guys here? But not talking about what's wrong with society. I'm gonna end it with this, and this may offend a lot of people, but this is the raw, uncut truth, and I gotta be honest today at the table. The reality is, man, and what we're not trying to understand in society, and what we're not trying to accept. Before feminism, man took women's ability to have a job. Man took women's ability to vote. The only ability a woman had back in them days was to take care of the kids and take care of the husband. And that was it. That was it. To be a stay-at-home mom and raise the kids for the next generation. And they made it law. The only people who could work was the men. And the families, they were stronger than ever. But remember what I just told you guys. They made it a law. They made it a law for the woman to stay her ass at home. Now, feminism is here, stronger than ever. All of the things women could ever have, right? But you know what the hard truth is? The real hard fact is, and I think people not gonna like this once again, women can be who they are. They only mess with the top percentage of men. Back in the primal days, when we was in the wild, only a few men made it with the top percentage of women. Let's think about that. Most men died and was alone. That's the harsh truth. And today, because we have technology, back then, a man would die alone. Now, a men are trying to find alternative solutions.